had some teachers and librarians reach out to me and ask what are some ideas for the start of the new year. I'm going to think out of the box on this one. I'm not going to talk about orientation, lessons on book care, those kind of things. I'm going to think of the bigger picture, okay? So my first one today, we've talked about the Demco planner. This is the one from last year, which I always keep these because I can go back and look at my notes monthly and see what I did and reflect on what worked, what didn't work, if I want to do it again. Okay, so this is the new one for this year. And a lot of you have asked to see the inside of it. I mean, it's expensive. You want to look at the inside of it if you're going to order it, right? That's one thing I will say on the Demco site. I wish that it had a little more detail on pictures on the inside of it. Do you know what I mean? Like what it looks like on the inside. So let me show you. This is probably the page that I use the most. It's the monthly calendar. I love seeing everything at one time, but if you look really closely on each day, if there is something to celebrate, it'll tell you something about the day. So this is July 3rd is International Plastic Bag Free Day. And then on July 11th is Pet Photo Day. And a lot of times I will take things like that are on those days and I will use them in the library for that day. So what I do is I go through and I underline the ones that I think would be good to celebrate in the library. Of course, we have to celebrate August 13th, which is International Left-Handers Day. I have a t-shirt and everything that I wear for that. But celebrating Left-Handers Day in the library, and you can do it for that whole week. You don't have to do it just on that day. And you can do it anytime, to be honest with you. You can do it anytime. Navajo Code Talkers Day. I also underlined Perler Bead Day. I have a really cool take and make activity that you make a snake with perler beads. So perler beads don't just have to be used in the traditional sense of making a pattern out of them and then melting them together. You can do a ton of other things with them. I also underlined Just Because Day, Bow Tie Day. I love that. Bow Tie Day. College Colors Day, Beach Day, Slinky Day, World Calligraphy Day. So you could set some things out for the kids to try calligraphy, Relaxation Day. Anyway, I absolutely love that. And then in the corner over here, it'll tell you what things we celebrate in that month. So August is American Adventures Month, so you could do a display on that. It's Back to School Month, duh. It's Get Ready for Kindergarten Month, Family Fun Month. You could set out books on things you could do as a family. So I absolutely love this. And then we have a planning meeting every week with administration, and I'll take this and, they're planning, they're being all serious, and they're like, okay, on the 4th of August, we need to do this and this. And I say, oh, yes, it's also Simplify Your Life Week. So we could do something for that too, whether it's for the staff or the kids. So love that. I've never used this, but it does have a QR code down here in the bottom for each month, and it says scan for August monthly resources. I need to look into that. I don't know if let me see if that's new this year. Let's see. No, they had it last year too. I also take our year at a glance calendar that the county puts out, and I'll usually tape that in the front so that I always have that, so I know what important dates are coming up as far as early release or conference week or days that we have off or vacations coming up. All right, after that monthly calendar, it also has pages that you can just take notes on. It really is set up like a to-do list with checklist boxes. You know how I love a checklist. It also has this organizer that's for goals, collaborations, connections, materials, and resource usage, professional development, meetings, committees, special programming, contests and displays, and a reflection of the month. I love this because at the end of the year, a lot of times we get asked to type up a summary of what we did in order to meet our evaluation criteria, because especially being a librarian, they may not always see what I do in the library. So it is very important that you track what you do and you have that available if you ever get asked as like, what did you do to support the community? Things like that. You know, what did you do to support your teachers in learning this? Or, you know, just things like that. I love keeping track of. I used to do it digitally, but I found that I didn't go in and update that enough. And having it here where I can just jot it down, then if I want to put that in the digital form, I can. Then if you like more this form where it breaks down by day, it also has that after that organization chart. Also, all these QR codes for different things to try. This is Give It a Try, Guess Who Game, Book Character Edition. And you can use that resource. One of the biggest things you have to do when you get this Demco planner is you have to put the tabs on here. And that's like a big life decision. Do you want the tab on the page so that it opens up to the monthly? Or where do you want it to open to each month? I mean, that's a big deal. All right, then after all the months, they have a Children's Literature Awards. So if you're not sure what an award is for, you can look right here. And I'd love to teach the kids about those also, the ones that kind of apply to the books they look at. There's an organizer for a needs assessment, an action plan, curriculum mapping. I mean, really, this is a one-stop shop. Also, your top weeding tips and a page on censorship and book banning. There's also a checklist for planning a book fair and a place to write down book requests from students, which that's another tip I have for later about having something for them to write down their requests on. And then there's grant writing tips and a grant organizer. I love that. I mean, that is a great source of money. You have to put a little time and effort into those, but it's great. 10 AI tools for school librarians, makerspace advice. There's a page for vendors and for budgets, questions to ask your students about your library program. You know, as a librarian, you really should have a media committee and have different people from the community, different people from school that are on that committee. A reading log for you, of course. Then this next section I love is the tip table of contents. And all after that, it's all different librarians with different tips, and there's QR codes down at the bottom for you to read over, investigate. That's why I love keeping the year before. I keep them afterwards. And then another notes section. It really is a one-stop shop for librarians, geared towards librarians, which that's another reason why I really like it. So whether you use it or not, that is an inside look of the Demco planner. It's a little pricey, but I think it is totally worth it, and it's a resource along with an organizational tool. There you go.